Imagine a world where time is fleeting and death looms ever closer with each passing moment. Now, picture yourself as the hero tasked with saving this world, not just from a tangible threat but from the existential dread that comes with the knowledge of your own mortality. In the vast landscape of video games, few titles dare to venture into the realm of existential philosophy quite like The Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask. Within the vibrant and fantastical world of Termina lies a narrative rich with themes of existentialism, challenging players to confront the fundamental questions of existence amidst impending doom. In this video, we'll embark on a journey through Majora's Mask, exploring how the game confronts players with questions of meaning, identity, and agency. And just looking at how cool some of the masks are. I mean, just look at the Mask of Truth. From the inevitability of death to the search for authenticity in a world of masks, we'll delve deep into the philosophical underpinnings that make Majora's Mask a masterpiece of existential storytelling. So grab your ocarina, don your favorite mask, and join us as we unravel the mysteries of The Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask. You start the game in the woods, as a boy who's saved the world of Hyrule, but unable to take the pressure of being that boy any further, and on the search for his companion, Navi. Exhausted, Link and Epona are harassed by two fairies, and Link falls to the ground, unconscious. This is where we meet the main antagonist for the game, an unlikely being. Almost immediately, Link's being invaded. An unconscious protagonist unable to defend himself as Skullkid takes his most beloved possession, the Ocarina of Time. I don't need to go through every detail of this opening. Chances are if you've played Majora's Mask, you know what's going to happen. Link wakes up, confronts Skullkid, gets dragged across the forest by a horse, an act that would surely kill some people. After falling off and chasing some more, he's met by it. A pit. A pit that, when he accidentally falls through it, sees hallucinations or even premonitions of the ordeals he's going to be faced with during the next 3 days. He, and by extension the player, thinks nothing of it. He meets back up with Skullkid, gets hypnotized, and is violated in probably the most extreme form imaginable. His body is transformed into that of what most would consider a monster, and as a joke. His body, the one that saved a kingdom from impending evil and astoundingly insurmountable odds, is now this. Can you imagine? You could even argue this was body horror for kids in the year 2000. In Majora's Mask, the concept of death is not just a distant threat but an ever-present reality, looming over the inhabitants of Termina like the shadow of the encroaching moon. The game's 3-day cycle relentlessly ticks away, each passing moment bringing the world one step closer to destruction. This relentless march of time serves as a constant reminder of the inevitability of death and the fleeting nature of existence. The looming threat of the moon crashing into Termina creates a sense of urgency and desperation, forcing players to confront the reality of mortality head on. Unlike other games in the Zelda series, where death is often a temporary setback, Majora's Mask presents a world where death is final and irreversible. Characters in the game grapple with their impending demise, facing their fears and regrets as they prepare for the end. The 3-day cycle mechanic not only adds a sense of tension and urgency to the gameplay, but also serves as a metaphor for the passage of time in our own lives. Just as in the game, time marches inexorably forward, never pausing to wait for us to catch up. Majora's Mask challenges players to consider how they will spend their limited time in the face of impending doom, forcing them to confront their own mortality in the process. As players navigate the world of Termina, they encounter characters who are similarly grappling with the inevitability of death. From the troubled spirits of the deceased to the citizens of Clocktown preparing for the end, death is a constant presence in the game's narrative. By confronting death head-on, Majora's Mask forces players to ponder their own mortality and contemplate the meaning of their lives in the face of uncertainty. the imminent apocalypse looming over Termina prompts its inhabitants to grapple with profound existential questions about the meaning of their lives. As players traverse the game world, they encounter characters who are engaged in their own quests for purpose and significance amidst the chaos. One poignant example of this quest for meaning is found in the storyline of Anju and Kafei. Anju, a young innkeeper, and Kafei, her fiancé, who has been transformed into a child by the mischievous Skullkid, are faced with the impending destruction of Termina as they desperately search for each other amidst the chaos. A young Kafei is one of the first NPCs you see in the entire game, sending an anonymous letter, but you can't interact with him. He's too embarrassed to be seen as a child. It's only later in the game, well past the halfway point, after you've gathered enough tools to be able to help them, they find each other in probably the game's most convoluted side quest. You manage to gain Kafei's trust and work as a messenger between him and Anju. You even find Anju's wedding gown displayed in her room with an intention to be worn, but no way how. You even somehow swindle the town's swindler and burgle the town's burglar, and in the end, you finally manage to reunite the lovers. Literal minutes before the entire town gets destroyed. And in those minutes, they choose to stay in each other's embrace instead of evacuating to safety. Their quest becomes a symbol of the search for love, connection, and identity in a world on the brink of collapse. Similarly, the Deku Butler's grief over the loss of his son serves as a powerful exploration of the human experience of loss and the search for meaning in the face of tragedy. At certain parts of the game, you're being tasked to follow the butler to a treasure, only for it to turn into a frantic labyrinthian race to keep up and not get lost. He admits to increasing his pace once you reach him at the end, as you remind him of his son for some odd reason. We, as players, know that the transformative masks are only able to manifest if it's taken from a similar being, living or dead. We meet such a being at the very start of the game, and without the knowledge that we most likely took this being's life force, we simply disregard it like we did with the pet. In the game's end credits, our suspicions are confirmed in a tragic sight. The Deku Butler is sobbing at the foot of his sun-turned tombstone. As players witness the Deku Butler's mourning, they are confronted with the fragility of life and the importance of cherishing the moments we have with those we love. Majora's Mask prompts players to consider how they will spend their limited time in the face of the end, encouraging them to seek out moments of connection, compassion, and courage amidst the chaos. Masks play a central role, not only as gameplay mechanics, but also as powerful symbols of identity and authenticity. As players collect and don various masks throughout their journey, they are invited to explore the multifaceted nature of identity and the masks we wear in our own lives. One of the most iconic masks in the game is the titular Majora's Mask itself, a malevolent artifact that grants its wearer immense power, but also corrupts and distorts their true identity. This mask serves as a metaphor for the masks we all wear in our daily lives, hiding our true selves behind layers of artifice and deception. Throughout the game, players encounter a diverse array of masks, each with its own unique abilities and significance. From the transformative power of the Deku, Goron, and Zora masks, to the lesser masks like the Bunny Hood, the Mask of Sense, and the Captain's Hat. Each mask reflects a different aspect of the wearer's identity and personality. Anju and Kafei's questline in particular explores this as well. As players help reunite the couple and recover Kafei's stolen face, they are, like Kafei, confronted with the question of what it truly means to be oneself in a world full of expectations and assumptions. Majora's Mask challenges players to consider the mask they wear in their own lives, whether literal or metaphorical. Majora's Mask reminds us that the true authenticity comes from embracing our true selves, masks and all. By confronting the masks we wear and the identities we construct, we can find freedom and meaning in a world that often seeks to confine us to predetermined roles and expectations. One of the most notable aspects of Majora's Mask is its non-linear narrative structure, which allows players to tackle quests in any order they choose. This freedom of choice extends to the game's central mechanic, the ability to manipulate time using the Ocarina of Time. By rewinding time and reliving the same 3-day cycle, players are given the power to change the course of events and shape the fate of the world. However, with this power comes responsibility. As players progress through the game, they are faced with moral dilemmas that challenge their preconceived notions of right and wrong. For example, players may encounter characters who are in desperate need of help, but helping them may come at a cost, such as sacrificing valuable time or resources. Remember, you've only got 3 days until the end of everything. The quest lines of certain characters, such as the troubled spirit of Domani the Goron or the remorseful spirit of Mikau the Zora, ask players to confront difficult decisions about life, death, and sacrifice. By making these choices, players not only shape the outcome of the game, but also grapple with their own existential questions about the nature of morality and the value of human life. If I could just use a song to extend life into a mask, what's the point in living? Majora's Mask encourages players to consider the consequences of their actions and the impact they have on the world around them. By confronting these moral dilemmas head-on, players are forced to confront their own values and beliefs, ultimately leading to a deeper understanding of themselves and the world they inhabit. Termina is teetering on the brink of destruction, where existential dread permeates every corner, from the eerie atmosphere of Clocktown to the haunting melodies that echo throughout the surrounding areas. Majora's Mask masterfully creates a sense of unease and foreboding that makes players look at their own fears and anxieties. One of the most striking aspects is its atmospheric design, which evokes a sense of existential dread unlike any other game in the Zelda series. Well, maybe that one cutscene in Twilight Princess comes close. The constant presence of the moon, poised to crash into Termina and obliterate everything in its path, serves as a potent example of impending doom, casting a shadow of fear over the entire world. By immersing players in a world filled with existential dread, Majora's Mask challenges them to contemplate the meaning of their lives in the face of uncertainty. Through its haunting atmosphere and thought-provoking narrative, the game invites players to delve into the depths of their own psyche and grapple with the fundamental questions of existence. Lewis Carroll's timeless masterpiece, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, invites readers into a world where the ordinary is turned upside down and logic takes a holiday. Published in 1865, this enchanting tale follows the curious Alice as she tumbles down a rabbit hole into a fantastical realm inhabited by peculiar characters and nonsensical happenings. With its imaginative storytelling, vivid imagery, and playful wordplay, Carroll's iconic work continues to captivate audiences of all ages, inviting them to join Alice on her extraordinary journey through Wonderland. Majora's Mask and Lewis Carroll's Alice's Adventures in Wonderland share a profound thematic resonance despite belonging to different mediums and genres. Both narratives plunge their protagonists into surreal and whimsical worlds filled with eccentric characters and surreal landscapes. Alice and Link navigate through these fantastical realms, encountering challenges that test their courage, wit, and perception of reality. Moreover, both stories explore the themes of identity, self-discovery, and the passage of time. In Majora's Mask, Link must repeatedly rewind time to prevent the destruction of Termina, mirroring Alice's cyclical journey through Wonderland. Additionally, the game's emphasis on masks as tools for transformation echoes Carroll's exploration of masks and shifting identities in Wonderland. Remember that pit full of premonitions at the start you fall into through a tree trunk? Yeah. Through their shared motifs and thematic depth, both works invite audiences to contemplate the nature of existence and the mysteries of the human psyche. In the existential landscape of The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, amidst the Wonderland-esque chaos of impending doom, players are invited to discover moments of profound meaning and purpose. The game challenges players to confront the absurdity of existence and find significance in the face of uncertainty. One of the most significant ways Majora's Mask explores this theme is through its emphasis on connections with others. Throughout the game, players encounter characters who are struggling, and by helping these characters overcome their fears and fulfill their desires, players not only shape the outcome of the game, but also discover the value of compassion and empathy. The quest lines of characters like Anju and Kafei, the Deku Butler, and the troubled spirits of the deceased offer players moments of genuine, in-game human connection amidst the chaos of Termina. These moments of connection serve as a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is still beauty and meaning to be found in the bonds we share with others. Additionally, Majora's Mask encourages players to find meaning in the pursuit of personal growth and self-discovery. By embracing their true selves and confronting the masks they wear, players can find freedom and authenticity in a world that often seems chaotic and unpredictable. Majora's Mask offers players a message of hope in the face of existential despair. By finding meaning and purpose amidst the absurdity of existence, players can discover a sense of fulfillment and contentment that transcends the trials and tribulations of the world around them. The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask stands as a timeless masterpiece, not only as a video game, but as a profound exploration of existential themes that resonate with players across generations. From its evocative narrative and haunting atmosphere to its thought-provoking gameplay mechanics, Majora's Mask has left an indelible mark on the gaming landscape and continues to captivate audiences to this day. At its core, Majora's Mask is a game about confronting the fundamental questions of existence, the inevitability of death, the search for meaning, and the quest for authenticity in a world filled with uncertainty. Through its richly textured world and complex characters, the game invites players to delve into the depths of their own psyche and grapple with the existential dilemmas that define the human experience. One of the game's greatest achievements is its ability to evoke a sense of existential dread and unease that permeates every aspect of the player's experience. From the sounds that echo through the land to the constant presence of the moon, ready to crash into Termina and obliterate everything in its path, Majora's Mask creates an atmosphere of tension and foreboding. Yet, amidst the chaos and despair, Majora's Mask offers players a moment of genuine connection and profound meaning. Through acts of kindness, empathy, and self-discovery, players can find purpose and fulfillment. By embracing their true selves, players can discover a sense of authenticity and freedom that transcends the trials and tribulations of the world around them. As we reflect on the legacy of Majora's Mask, we are reminded of the enduring power of video games as a medium for exploring complex themes and ideas. Majora's Mask invites players to embark on a journey of self-discovery and introspection, challenging them to uncover new layers of meaning with each playthrough. In the years to come, Majora's Mask will continue to inspire and captivate players, inviting them to explore its richly textured world and uncover its hidden secrets. Its legacy as a masterpiece of existential storytelling will endure, reminding us of the power of video games to provoke thought, evoke emotion, and challenge our understanding of the human condition, and realize that it's not the destination that matters, but the journey itself and the meaning we find along the way. Thanks for watching my video. It was a lot of fun to make, and this was a game of my childhood, so it was a big nostalgia bomb diving into it and doing the research. Please go ahead and subscribe and like and do all those things. It helps me out a lot. And listen to my podcast, Critical Arcade. It's a lot of fun. You won't be disappointed. I'm going to get this YouTube thing right so that I can make more videos, because this is just too fun. See ya.